Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang with Morsels of a Thought number 1311. Today is Sunday, and we're in a new era. Literally, we're actually in chapter 3 in a new era in Kohila Sivas's Cracking the Parenting Codes. Here, I'm going to write that down. And so this is about how it would be best to consider raising children, our next era of children. Chapter 3, A New Era. The digital age is an era defined by rapid growth tech advancements. We live with instant connectivity between individuals and unprecedented access to information from around the globe. For some families, tranquil family evening at home means parents and children are focused on their tablets or cell phones. Mom might scroll Facebook while dad watches YouTube, and the kids are immersed in Snapchat and TikTok. This scene has become all too common in 21st century households. Have you paused to ponder the profound changes that have unfolded in this digital age? Smartphones and social media have not only reshaped the way we live, but also how we parent. We are now faced with unique challenges we could scarcely have envisioned just a decade ago. Traditional family time was once presented as the ideal, but it is no longer the sole paradigm. Diverse family models and non-traditional caregiving arrangements have emerged, altering the very fabric of familial relationships. These shifts have profound implications for our role as parents and the approaches we adopt in nurturing our children. Consider what happens if you seek parenting guidance online. The internet provides a deep well of articles, expert opinions, and conflicting information, often leaving you grappling with an abundance of choices and perspectives. This phenomenon is commonly known as information overload, a prevailing challenge in the digital age. Digital media has a significant impact on children's perceptions and behaviors. Okay. The important question to ask is, how do I navigate this sea of information and make well-informed decisions to our family's unique needs and values? Sea of information. That harkens back to Shakespeare's Hamlet, the sea of troubles. Sea of information's here now, and it's got the troubles and it's got the good stuff. So we don't know what's wisdom, we don't know what's information. How do I navigate the sea of information and make well-informed decisions to our family's unique needs and values? That's just me saying to her question. Digital media has been proven to have a significant impact on our children's perceptions and behaviors. Too often, there are no filters for our children and no guidance. As parents, we must take an active role to mentor our children's digital consumption. We must ensure that it aligns harmoniously with our family's core values. We must teach our children to be responsible, ethical, and astute members of the digital era. We must safeguard their online privacy and navigate the treacherous threats of cyberbullying, porn, online shaming, and the myriad of agendas and never-ending content that conflict with our own values. How do we help our children to establish healthy boundaries within the digital realm? In this book, we will explore strategies and concepts to equip you with the tools necessary to raise responsible digital citizens. Purchasing a cell phone with data for your child is a significant decision. It has been said that in doing so, you effectively end their childhood. You are essentially giving them access to the entire world and putting it in their fingertips. A smartphone can serve as a tool for learning and connection, but it's also a gateway to damaging content. It's a double-edged sword for any youngster who may not be equipped to navigate these complexities safely. As parents, it is critical to impart strong values and establish clear boundaries. Without these, children won't be able to discern between beneficial and harmful content. The internet is replete with material that can be confusing or damaging to a child's development, and it's a parent's responsibility to guide them through this. To put this into perspective, consider how you protect your child's physical space. You wouldn't allow strangers unrestricted access to your child in your home, especially in private areas such as their bedroom or bathroom. Yet, when a child is given a phone, it accompanies them everywhere, and it has the potential to allow influence from all corners of the internet to enter their personal spaces. Trust in your child is necessary, but it is also important to acknowledge that this trust does not extend to every element they might encounter online. It's not the trust in the child that's in question, but rather the content and individuals they may come across in the vast expanse on the internet of the internet. What is paramount is to equip them with the knowledge and tools to protect themselves. It's about educating them on the dangers, teaching them how to use technology responsibly, and setting up appropriate parental controls. Regular conversations about online safety, privacy, and digital citizenship can help them understand the importance of navigating the digital world with caution. Providing a child with a phone should come with guided instruction, open dialogue, and careful monitoring to ensure they learn to use such powerful tools responsibly and safely. What your children consumes does matter, and it distinctly shapes their present and future. Activity: identifying trends against your values and protecting your child's well-being. Identifying trends against your values and protecting your child's well-being. Consider the trends, behaviors, or influences that you believe may be contrary to your family's values or potentially harmful to your child. These could include new popular trends such as gender identity, racial politics, and social justice. For each trend or influence you identify, make a list of potential harms or risks it poses to your child's well-being. Be specific about how it might conflict with your family's values or impact your child negatively. Ask yourself whether you are comfortable with your child being part of such an agenda. Consider whether some of these trends are experimental in nature and whether you want your child to be influenced on a testing ground of potentially dangerous outcomes, behaviors, or experiences. Based on your reflections and discussions, establish clear boundaries and guidelines for your child's exposure to these trends. Set age-appropriate rules and restrictions to protect their well-being. Keep an eye on your child's activities and monitor their exposure to trends and influences, and if they are in school, learn about the curriculum and what is being taught. Be willing to adapt your approach as your child grows and faces new challenges. Open communication is essential for building strong parent-child relationships. Maintain open communication with your children about the reasons behind your family values and the potential risks associated with certain trends. Encourage them to come to you with questions or concerns. Always share the why, WHY, behind anything you communicate to them. Reflect and explore. Are you actively listening to your children? Reflect and explore. How much time do you dedicate to speaking to each of your children? That was a big section. Next section. 5 tips to being an active listening parent. When your child is talking to you, be present. Stop what you're doing and give them your complete attention. Stay calm and patient, allowing them to speak at their own pace without interrupting or rushing them. Use nonverbal cues like nodding your head or using facial expressions to show that you're engaged in the conversation. Try not to jump to conclusions or make judgments about what your child is saying. Let them express themselves fully without fear of criticism. Encourage your child to share more by asking open minded questions. These are questions that cannot be answered with a simple yes or no and require more elaboration. Parents are the first and most influential role models in a child's life. Leading by example means demonstrating the values and behaviors we wish to instill in our children. This promotes consistency between words and actions. That's a very interesting thing because in my childhood, I remember thinking to myself that my parents did not act consistently and the rules were very hard to follow because I would do something, be scolded or reprimanded, and then do what they said, and then yet still be scolded and reprimanded, not reprimanded, but scolded greatly during a bad mood or fit of anger that they had amongst themselves. So I would be choosing where to tiptoe, but I never knew the rules. So I had to make up my own. So basically, I've been told that I grew up without parents. Well, I was given a good piece of guidance when I was very young, when I was the age of 2, by a different parent, a third parent. And this third parent gave me the self-esteem to know that no matter what happens to the child, they are a human being and they ought to know it. And they need to know that they have to know that they're a human being while anything bad is happening to them so that they never feel a sense of guilt or mistrust in themselves. So I wound up with that piece of good luck. But had I not had that, my own parents were not particularly consistent, and yet they tried very hard to be good parents. So the key down here is consistency between words and actions. Okay? All right, so I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is for the Stoics again. And hello, John Jones, hello for visiting the United States. And good morning, John Clark. And good morning to everybody who comes here. I'll have to I'll have to think of who it is. I'll have to think of who it is. This Rose Cantara, AC Rosita. Oh, goodness gracious. Susan O'Beam. Okay, I will talk to you again later. Old Kinderhook.